Just want to show you products that I genuinely have tried and I love. So some of the products that I use are sent to me for free and some of them I pay for. This lot here I have paid for. And we're back with another beauty video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you makeup that I bought in New York, which I find was worth my money. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm over on Instagram too, so please do come say hi there. Now let's head straight into the video. So guys, I have bought a bunch of makeup from New York recently, from Ulta and Sephora, and it's makeup that I feel was worth my money. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. I do get a lot of brands that send me stuff for free, but this here, this like little mini haul that I have, which isn't actually a lot, but you know, I did go out and buy this because they're brands that I'm just not on their PR list. So if I'm not on their PR list, obviously I'm going to go out and buy it. I don't just think to myself, well, if I'm not on their PR list, then I'm just going to use the products that I'm sent for free. It doesn't work like that for me. I genuinely use products that I love. It isn't just about pushing brands that send me stuff for free, because to be honest, some of it I don't like. And if that's the case, I'm not even going to try it, you know, as in like show you and try and sell that to you, because that's not what my incentive, like that's not my aim here. I'm not trying to sell stuff to you guys. I just want to show you products that I genuinely have tried and I love. So some of the products that I use are sent to me for free and some of them I pay for. This lot here I have paid for, and honestly I love them. I feel like I've used some of them before, so I've restocked on them and tried different shades, and then some of them I haven't actually tried before and I've tried them before actually showing them to you on this video, and I love them. So I just want to go through them for you. There's a couple that are not really makeup, it's just hair, but I still want to include that just so that you guys, you know, you can see. Clearly I love it, because you'll see why shortly. But anyway, first up, I'm going to start with the Patrick Starrr eyeshadow palette. This is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette, and what can I say? I hadn't used this before buying this, so this was the first time I bought this, and I've used it since buying it, and oh my god, the pigment is amazing. I would say this is definitely worth your money. It really depends on what your budget is, because some of these products are expensive, and even like, to be honest, like spending money on this, I was like, wow, that is expensive. Like, is this how much palettes are these days? It's crazy, right? But I have to say, I do feel this was worth it. Like, there are times where I've spent something like $70 on an eyeshadow palette, and I'm like, where did that even go? Like, why? Genuinely, this is worth it. Like, the colors in here are amazing, first off. So it's a great selection of kind of like nudes, but also with that slight peachy tone to it, and also some kind of rose tones to it, which I love. Because sometimes when you get palettes which are like nude, firstly, it's like, does anyone know what the word nude means in the color spectrum? Like, so many palettes I've seen which say nude are not nude, they're rose palettes, you know? So it's like, nude to me is almost beige. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit deeper than beige, like almost like slightly sand, a little bit deeper than beige and lighter than sand, if that makes sense. Yeah, I love the fact this is a combination of slightly rosy, like almost like a mulberry shade to some of them, and then some of them are slightly peachy, and then you have those nude shades in there too. The pigment is amazing. It feels kind of very buttery soft. It applies perfectly and it blends really, really well. And I will be doing a tutorial using this palette soon so you can see it, but I really wanted to kind of share with you that I think this was worth it, because even the glitter shades in here, they just come off onto the finger so nicely and not kind of crumbly. You know, sometimes you get these nice glitter shades like this in eyeshadow palettes and they're crumbly. Like, you start to kind of move your finger along it and then all of a sudden it's just like loads of pigment, like thick chunky bits of glitter falling out. That doesn't happen with this. So it's very, very good quality and it's just great. I love this palette. It's so good. I genuinely would recommend this, and the colors are amazing. And I feel like when I'm thinking of different skin tones, I feel like this would still suit majority of skin tones. Now, I already have an eye look on, but I really just want to kind of show you how this looks a little bit. So I want to use the shade Mother, and it's like a deep mulberry eyeshadow, and I'm going to use my Sigma E42 brush, and I'm just basically going to apply this just to like the outer corners of my eyes, and it's just going to give it that depth. I just want you to see how amazing. I know I've already got eyeshadow on, so, you know, I get that, but I just want you to see how the pigment is amazing and there's no fallout because I've obviously got my whole face done. So like pigment is great. Pigment is great. I just love the fact that I can actually apply this eyeshadow without worrying about it dropping onto the rest of my face. That's a real issue when you've done your base. So I really just wanted to kind of, look how that's added some nice depth there. So you can see we've added that depth, and I'm just going to press and flick lightly. We've added that depth here and I don't have to worry about any fallout. Look at the difference now. Like this is a lot more kind of defined. I love this. And I'm just going to take this into the socket here. Such a difference. It's completely like just made it more kind of defined and more feline. I'm also going to add a little bit of this because it just looks so nice. I've used a couple of the other colors, but I haven't used this one yet. So this one is Legendary, and I'm just going to like press this on top. Wow, I love it. This is better than what I had on before. I just feel like it's more defined. Anyway, I really wanted to show you what that kind of, how that applies, because it is honestly such a good palette. I'm just going to very quickly go ahead and do the other eye because I just look a bit weird now. That's the palette that I wanted to really share with you because I feel like it's just such a stunning palette and it is worth it. Moving on, the next couple of bits that I picked up some of the Real Techniques makeup sponges. Now this is something that I have recently started loving. I'm talking about the basic Real Techniques sponge, like the orange one, the complexion sponge. I absolutely love it. I did used to think it's a bit too big. You probably saw recently I've been using it a lot in my videos because I genuinely feel like it doesn't dry up as quick. You know, when you kind of put water all over it and it's a bit damp, it doesn't dry up as quick as the Beauty Blender. So I like that, but it is still a little bit big. But I have picked up these, and these are products which I'm hoping are going to be good. I feel like the Real Techniques sponge is worth my money, so that's why I'm adding these into it, because I've tried that one. But these two are a little different. This is the Miracle Powder Sponge, so it seamlessly blends and sets for a streak-free, soft focus finish that lasts. Use to apply powder for a smooth application. So this is going to be great for kind of like almost baking. And then you've got this, which is the Real Techniques Miracle Air Blend Sponge, which is a natural matte finish. It's medium to full coverage. Now this one is, you can use this damp or dry to apply foundation, and it says wet before the first use. So I'm going to try this in comparison to the complexion sponge. I do love the fact that they've got a sponge which you can apply powder with now, because I always use my powder puff, and obviously I want to check, like, is this going to take over my powder puff? Because my powder puff is my trusted long-term bestie when it comes to powder application, and you've seen how amazing that works. So I'm going to see how this is, but what I really wanted to tell you is the Real Techniques complexion sponge in general, the orange one, is well worth your money. It is a really good sponge, and I feel like it's way like cheaper than a Beauty Blender. I mean, Beauty Blender is always going to be my ultimate favorite because of the shape and the size of it is great. But if you want a cheap alternative, I'd suggest the Real Techniques because it is very good. And you have that flat edge as well as the pointy edge as well. What would be great is if they made that a bit smaller, you know, so that when it expands in size, when you've wet it, it ends up at the same size as a wet Beauty Blender. That would be great. So if you guys are watching, that would be amazing. Next up, we have the One Size Matte Eye Popper, which is a smoothing eye creamy eyeshadow. And this shade is open to all. Amazing, guys, amazing. I have it on now. It is what I had on as my base layer of eyeshadow before I applied that Patrick Starrr eyeshadow palette. It is the best liquid eyeshadow I have used. It is so good at being like being blended. It's amazing. It blends so easily. You only need the smallest amount and it blends perfectly. I genuinely want to see if I can get this. You can't get it in Dubai, so that's a bit annoying, but I don't even know if like the main Sephora ships out here, because what's the point when you have a Sephora here, but then at the same time the Sephora here doesn't have One Size. So that's really annoying, but I really want to get the other colors in this because it is worth it. This is probably one of my favorite shades, but I didn't get to actually see the other shades that they do. So I don't know how many other shades they do, but I'll check. That is amazing. It blends amazingly, like so well. It's so easy to blend. I would highly recommend that. Next up, we've got a cheaper alternative. This is the E.L.F. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow. Obviously, it's really cheap in comparison, but it is very good. Like it blends really, really well. I do feel like the shades are a little bit more transparent. So for example, you'd get really good pigment with this, and this is a lot more transparent, so the pigment isn't as great. But I think it's worth the money for the price of it, and you get a cream eyeshadow which you can blend easily. It probably does dry a little bit quicker as well to the other one, I think, based on like when I've used it, but it doesn't move. Once it's dry, it doesn't move, and I feel like they've got a few good shades. This one is Sand Dune, which is what I use, and I love it. It can be, it's not as warm, so it's more of a cool undertone. I don't know why I can't say cool. Why can I not say cool? Cool. It just sounds weird when I say it. It's like my tongue is too big for my mouth. It's like cool. Cool. It's cool. I feel like I moved my tongue around too much. That was weird. What I just did. It's good. I would say this is worth it. It's a cheap alternative, and it genuinely is a good cream eyeshadow. Next up is the Morphe palette. This is an eyeshadow palette which is Cabernet Blush. I don't know how you say that, but anyway. I love the colors in here, and I like Morphe palettes because I feel like they're just really affordable palettes and it's great quality. I do feel like the sparkly shades within Morphe palettes are not that great. Like I genuinely go for them for the matte shades because the matte shades are great. So I really like this palette because it's kind of like that slight rosy finish to it. Like it has that kind of mulberry tone to it, but it has some kind of nice brown shades in there too. I thought this was worth my money because it isn't that expensive. It's great, like in terms of the color shade range, it's really, really good. I do feel like if you're gonna use these sparkly shades, I would use them on top of a kind of tacky base because I feel like you get more pigment, whereas when you apply it on its own, like onto matte or powdered down lids, you can't see it as much, but the matte shades are absolutely amazing. This is the Color Fix cream eyeshadow and I absolutely love it. I think I've used some of the matte ones before in some of my tutorials and I love them. So this is actually the foil version. So I really like this because I feel like it's really easy to use and you can just apply a little bit over whatever your eye kind of look is. Just the pigment, I just want to show you on the back of my hand how insane it is. That's just the smallest drop. Look how good that looks. It's just, this shade is Milky Way. I kind of wanted something which was slightly silvery but not so silver, more kind of like milky, and this is perfect. So yeah, this is another thing that I would highly recommend because it genuinely, once you apply it, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays in place. Easy to blend, and yeah, it's just like a little goes a long way. It's just such a small little tube. You know, for how big it is, it's expensive. But I do feel it's worth my money based on the fact that I've used the matte ones before and they last forever. So I feel like when you think about how long it lasts, it's worth the money. Yeah, that's the reason I wanted to really include that. Like I picked this shade up and I absolutely loved it. Like slowly I keep adding to my collection because I genuinely feel like these are worth it. So that's another one. So that's kind of like my makeup done. And then I wanted to add in a couple of other things, which you'll see by the size of them how worth it they really are, which is for my hair. And it's the shampoo and conditioner from Olaplex. Look how big this is. It's huge, right? Every time I go to New York, I always pick up my Olaplex shampoo, which is my shampoo, my conditioner, and then I can't remember what number it is, but it's 4P. That's the purple shampoo that I use from Olaplex. So I pick up the shampoo, which is the normal standard size that they do, the conditioner, and then the 4P, which is a purple shampoo because that neutralizes the brightness in my hair. And anyway, I went to go and pick it up and I saw that they had these and it's something like $90 something. I'll put it up on the screen. Oh my God. Like, I'm so glad because I feel like every time I use my shampoo from Olaplex, I use it so sparingly because it's just like a little bottle and I'm like, oh my God, when am I next gonna go? You can get it here in Dubai, but it's just cheaper in the US. So I pick it up when I go there. I genuinely would recommend this. Like, it is just repairing for your hair. It's great. And obviously, as you can see how much I love it because this is 1,000 ml, so it's huge. And now I'm just so excited that I don't have to stock up on this as quick as I usually do. So yeah, those are basically all of the products that I wanted to show you that I think are worth my money. So I wanted to really go through with you things that I've actually paid money for and I've bought because I think that they're great and I feel like they're worth the money. So I really hope you've enjoyed this. If you do have any questions about any of these products, let me know in the comments box below. Don't forget, if you want want to show your support and your thanks for all of this free content that I give, please do hit that super thanks button below. Would it be there? I think it would be there or there. One of these two sides, you'll see like a little heart with a $sign on it, and you can show me your thanks that way. And plus your comments stand out more to me when you leave a super thanks. So yeah, I would really appreciate that. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know what type of look you want to see with this Patrick Starrr palette. That would be good. Or the Morphe palette. Yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have the best day ever. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you do, then give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.